All right, at the Namco Bandai Global Gamers Day, and we've managed to pull to one side PJ, who is producer, godlike being for Indiepub. Would that be correct?
Yes.
What was the polite term you're using for yourself before we actually started this interview?
Oh yes, that was corporate spackle because I fill in the gaps.
He said it, not me. Give us a bit of background on Indiepub. What are you guys?
Sure, we are a game publisher and now we're game developer. We start with sort of the indie base, indie-minded games, and before we would try to get them developed up into full games. Now we're also making games in-house on our own. So we're sort of both. We're sort of mixing both ends of development and publishing. But the games you're seeing here today we're primarily publishers for those.
Okay. Now you're saying about you're sort of trying to drag up games from the sort of the indie scene. I mean, where's that line drawn? You know?
That is a really hard to answer question. The games we have here, like Storm was one guy, entered one of our contests years ago. So he had the concept, he had a proof of concept that sort of worked with boxes and the physics. And he eventually got hired in the company. He did all the music for the game. So it was sort of his brainchild. And then we had brought in another company to finish it out and port it to different outlets, different systems. You know, Capsized is two guys from Canada. Vessel's two more guys. It's just, they start with a couple people that really are passionate about their game. They want to make their game. We see a good concept in it. We want to see it come to fruition and become a full game. That's where we would step in that point. Now we're sort of doing it on our own, where we're sort of the indie company now. We scaled back both in size and scope, whereas before we were a lot bigger and now we're a lot smaller, kind of as the industry has changed. So now we're making a lot of our own in-house as well. So we're sort of mixing both, working inside and outside, but moving more towards working inside.
It definitely feels more in vogue now. I mean, the indie scene's obviously been going for years and years now, but because, like you said, this stuff's being ported over to console now, it's sort of become almost more important because we've got that separation between the AAAs and then the indie scene is such a popular scene and you can get a lot of traffic and a lot of eyes on with it. I mean, if you find that you think the indie scene's becoming more and more important, especially as we sort of shift towards sort of next-gen stuff?
Well, you mean next-gen consoles? I mean, it's nearly impossible for indies to get anything on console. I mean, and that's where we wanted to step in and say, hey, we've got these licenses, we can help you out. There's no way two guys in the basement can afford to even start making a box game, for example, and then to even get on console unless they want to do like, the indie arcades where they can self-publish and they don't really get the sales. You have to get another company behind it, and that's where Indiepub came in. And now we're getting help from Namco to get even broader scope for those games, especially these three, so that we can get much broader distribution. I mean, otherwise, yeah, indies could never, on their own, it's really rare. You have like the Super Meat Boys that might break through, but those guys are gigantic in the indie community. So they're almost not indie anymore. So it's sort of like you were asking what's the definition of indie. Who knows?
Okay, well, let's sort of talk.
An unfair question.
Let's talk about the three games here today. I mean, what is it in turn that you've seen of these games that you guys thought, yeah, this is one. So let's talk about Storm then.
Okay. Storm, it was just a very different style game. I mean, it has also a very environmental view, which environmentality is also on everybody's mind, thinking green. We also wanted to create a more relaxing kind of game because most games are high pressure, get it now, shoot and kill things. We got that too, but we also wanted to kind of have a palate cleanser of sorts, have something to change it up because not everybody wants a high tension, high pressure game. So Storm was kind of that approach. You could sit kind of back and relax and kind of play or just enjoy the game and kind of explore the environments and play with weather. That's always fun.
And then completely the other end of the scale is Capsized, where it is a bit terrifying and there's a lot of shooting and stuff like that. I mean, can you give us a brief outline of what Capsized is and again what the attraction is and how you guys have sort of brought that to fruition?
Okay. Well, Capsized is it's sort of a survival game, kind of twin stick. I mean, you're moving with both sticks and shooting with one. So in that aspect, it is a twin stick shooter. But you're exploring the environment. There's no like set map, no set way to go. You crash land on the planet, and you're trying to survive the planet because everything wants to kill you.
As it is with most sci-fis, yes.
Exactly. For some reason, aliens hate us, or whatever their planet they're from, and so he needs to find his crew, and he's trying to get off the planet. So it's basically surviving all of those things against him, and getting off the planet.
And then finally with Vessel, that's sort of physics puzzle. We say, or as you say, sort of like water puzzle, more or less.
Yeah, they call it a liquid physics puzzler.
I just couldn't roll it off the tongue so eloquently. Yeah.
Liquid physics puzzler. Is that
New subgenre right there. Go on.
the guys who made that, they created their own physics engine, so that was very unique. And they've got different types of liquids in there, so it's not just water. There's lava, there's goo, cosmic goo, and they all interact. They make different fluoros for the creatures that are in the game, and they all interact in different ways, and they do different things. And even you can sort of cross the stream, so to speak, and have the different liquids interact with each other, so you can solve puzzles in different ways.
And what's the sort of like time frame? I mean, these things are coming out quite soon. I mean, like you said, you're already on Steam, but they're coming out in console.
Yeah,
now.
2 of them are on Steam. These games have been essentially ready for a while, and we've just been itching to get them on console. So I think May and June are sort of the targets for all 3. I don't know, we haven't decided on exact dates yet, likewise with the price. But yeah, in the next couple months, they'll be playable. Okay,
and what consoles is it? Both PS3 and 360, or just one or the other?
Right. Well, all 3 will ultimately be on PlayStation and Xbox through Namco. Namco's only doing Xbox for Vessel, but for Storm they're doing Xbox and PlayStation Live, or Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, and then for same for Capsized they're doing PlayStation Network and Xbox Live.
You mentioned previously that you guys are also now in the development space rather than just publishing. Can you sort of give us an overview about what you guys have coming out, what you're working on at the moment?
Sure. We have we're mostly doing mobile games right now. We released one called Pictago that's both an app and a game. It's sort of like make your own hidden object games. You take a picture, tag it, send it to a friend, hidden object game style. So DIY kind of hidden object game, very cool. We're also doing, Capsized is out for iPad right now. We're currently developing Storm for iPad. I actually just got a build today, so I'm excited to try to play it. We have several games coming out. Bad Bots is going to come out for Android, iOS, PC, Mac. We also just updated Hungry Gals, which is huge in Japan. Aren't we all?
Carry on, there's nothing I can add to
that. But we've been updating that. We just added 2 new worlds. We have 2 more planned. That's doing really well. We have many more down the chute that are just concepts right now that we're doing entirely in-house. We did a game in 4 days called Turkey Stuffin'. And you can edit this out if you want, but you literally shove stuff up a turkey's ass. That's the whole game. That's a lot of fun. We did that for Thanksgiving last year.
It's a nice relaxing game, really. It sort of like de-stresses you, I imagine.
It does. And when you get to hear the howls and screams of the turkey.
Oh wait, so it's not a turkey that's cooked. It's a live turkey.
Yes, it is. And it's sitting in a fire pan.
You're a sick son of a bitch. You know that?
Yes, I am. I actually did all the noises and sounds for it too.
This is possibly the August interview I've done. In fact, the August responses I've had from anybody ever. How did it feel imagining yourself, putting yourself in a turkey's position while you're getting things stuffed up inside you?
I don't think you want to see me in a turkey's position.
Again, later on.
After a few drinks, then never mind. It was definitely a fun day at the office, mostly because I'm back in our loading dock with the headphones on and a microphone going as loud as I can, and the whole office, you can hear them crack up 2 seconds later because they know exactly what I'm doing. And doing 100 takes of a turkey in pain is an interesting day at work.
Cool.